Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues and the Batman universe. Today we're taking a look at a very special figure. I don't even have to do a big huge presentation. You can tell just from this outfit who this is with the white neck and the name Joe up here. DC Comics supervillain, of course, it's the Joker as depicted in the, I don't know if you could say award-winning, but the very well written tale of Death of the Family that Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo did. I know there's some people that are, on either sides of the fence, but I think overall it was done very well. We won't be splitting hairs with all the side issues and everything, even though I enjoyed those as well. But I still think the overall feel of what Snyder wrote for the Joker was just really chilling, and then just the gruesome artwork that Greg Capullo did to depict the Joker. I remember reading in Detective Comics #1 when the New 52 launched, and the final panel of the Joker having his face cut off, thinking, where in the world are they going to go with this? And then Snyder and Capullo just ran with this a really creepy story about the Joker and Batman, and the Joker's almost over infatuation with Batman, as he is the Bat King and the Joker is his jester rather. A very, very nice package. I'm trying to look up here real quick and see if I have Captain Cold's box, and yes I do. We've got Captain Cold's box here real quick, so you can tell they're going with the motif of the particular villain that it is, or the accent color, or maybe a predominant color in some villains' cases, with the green for the Joker and blue for Captain Cold. I'm also picking up Black Manta today, and I know his box is red, so I just wanted to be able to show you kind of what they're doing with the villains, giving them their own special, unique color scheme on their box, which I think is really kind of cool. Kind of a dimly lit here, depending on how I have this in frame, as the light's playing with the camera here a little bit, but a really cool looking box. There's the DC Comics supervillains, the Joker. You can see him in all his creepiness glory, and this guy in the back. Hey, how's it going? You can see all of his accessories here, which I think is maybe one of the first action figures from DC Collectibles to receive so many accessories. Sometimes you don't get hardly any accessories, and sometimes you may get just one or two. But you can see, again, apologize for what the light is doing here, as the sunlight's coming in through the window, and the lights that I have shooting the video are fighting one another, but a really cool look. I don't know if you could see this or not. It says, includes saw, wrench, hammer, and needle nose pliers. So I thought that was, really pretty cool. You can see he's got his holster that he can put all these torture devices, as it would be, and this is sculpted by Phil Ramirez. This I thought was really cool. You always get the side panel of the art. You kind of get the nice grin of the Joker there, and the typical silhouette we have been getting. Again, apologize with the light here. The back of the box. Let's see if I can read this. I have to turn this light off. I don't know if that helped or not. It says, Batman's arch nemesis, the Joker, is perfectly captured in this action figure based on the designs for Death of the Family story arc for DC Comics, the New 52. Really, really cool. You can definitely tell there's a Greg Capullo style there. They're coming out with a Greg Capullo series, so I was curious as to maybe why they didn't say the Joker for that, but being Villains Month, it's probably best to have the Joker out, at least in the first set or wave, I guess you could say. It says, coming soon, we have Supervillains Black Manta and Supervillains Captain Cold. Now, I've already reviewed Captain Cold, and I'm picking up Black Manta today, so it was nice in the mail that I just got him from Entertainment Earth, and then I'm going to go to my local comic book store, and I pre-ordered him, and here's a nice little picture of the Joker and Batman from the New 52, and kind of a little fighting stance, and you have more product information, and the We Can Be Heroes here. So enough of this. Let's get this guy out of package. I am so eager just to have the Joker in my hands and getting him posing with some of the other figures that I have here on my table. So give me just a second to get him out of the box and kind of play with him just for a little bit, and we will be right back. Do not go anywhere. All right, got the Joker out of package, and I have a little problem wrong with my figure. I kind of half wondered about this, if this might be a problem. It's nothing really major. It should not deter you from getting it. Maybe it's just my figure, but I do have a piece that came off of the Joker. It's not major. It's easily fixable. Disappointing with me just getting this figure, but maybe we'll see what ends up happening here. But all that aside and everything else, make sure I'm getting enough light here for our subject. I love this figure. Talk about a face only a mother could love. Get some light here. Let's just get in on the face of this thing. I think it's what a lot of people are wanting to see. How creepy this Joker face. I mean, look at that. I had kind of thought, man, it'd been really kind of cool if the face would have come off, but it doesn't. It's just sculpted. But you can see the muscle definition in there. How creepy the eyes are. I mean, this is just a... people say, oh, this figure is sick, meaning awesome. This is a sick figure. I mean, look at the ugly teeth, and very, very well done. You can see that the face is already, rotting, and there's all kinds of bumps, and see the nice white neck, kind of the nice white ears, and then really kind of speechless with how this figure looks. I've been saying that Aquaman was sculpted very, very well. I think the Joker might be my new favorite figure as far as sculpting goes. There's his hair. See, I have a little bit of a blue spot on his neck from where the paintbrush probably rubbed. Now you're probably getting this little, I'm noticing the viewfinder, there's this what looks like a beige stripe going around his neck. That is just the shadow from the collar that's being cast that my camera is reflecting. So there's the Joe's Garage on the back. Just this real grimy work shirt. Sorry if I'm a little shaky there. I want to make sure but you can see how dirty and dingy everything is. Just done really well. Joe. Then onto the pants and the belt. See the holsters for everything. The boots and the socks. I mean, this leapt right off of the page of the comics. This looks just how we did in the comics. Remember seeing some of his very first preview images and thinking he's going to be wearing a Joe's, like a garage auto mechanic shirt. I think it fit really well. And I love the gloves here. The oversized work gloves on his skinny little hands. It's very Grey Capullo-esque. Now, the problem I do have, you can see right here, the other pouch came off. So we'll get into that now since we're kind of seeing it. There's the pouch where the other pieces come in. Now, I had this put back on. You can see this little tab right here goes into this slot. So, I mean, and as I just dropped it, hopefully I can find it. There we go. Hopefully I didn't lose you there. Goes into this slot. Sorry, I'm getting all... So you can see how it was made and kind of put in. So I think all I'm going to do is get a little super glue, glue this back in there. I mean, it'll, if I push it on a little bit and slide it over, it will stay. So you can kind of see it there. His little work belt with all his wonderful tools. As you can see, these tools are all sculpted in place. I have them on frame. So these are all sculpted. They do not come out, but I think the pliers are the only thing that is duplicated that he has two of. So, really cool. Well, since we're talking about pliers and all of that wonderful jazz, let's move the Joker out of the way so he doesn't focus. Let's take a look at the actual other accessories that he comes with. Here is the hammer. I think this is what he was going after Alfred with, if I remember correctly. Nicely detailed hammer. We have the vice grips. Some people call these the monkey wrench. Actually, it might have been the wrench that he was hitting Alfred with. I'll have to look at the comic page real quick. Pretty cool. Has the saw or the knife. Nice serrated edge. These are real. It's real, you know, soft, pliable, flimsy. So got that, and then last but not least, the pliers. So he does have two of these. I mean, one really. The other one is just sculpted into his tool belt. And then all of these would fit in. If I get it right here. The knife in here. Actually, that's probably more for the hammer. See, this piece came right back off again. Maybe the hammer goes on this side. I probably should look at the box to figure out where they're putting this stuff. That's kind of tight. Maybe that is the knife. Maybe the wrench. So yeah, that'll fit in all these different places. Probably just up to your discretion where you would like them. Of course, we have this pouch that fell off for things to go in there. So I will reattach this. Since I've kind of got an arm up, let's go over articulation really quick, and I'll tell you a fear that I have about this piece. Maybe the other people will find out, and maybe even with this back pouch as well, but it's a part of articulation that we really haven't seen on DC Collectibles up until now. You could probably guess where I'm going to go with this. So we'll start from the top. His head is on a really nice ball joint. Let's back the camera out just a little bit here, Rob. His head's on a really nice ball joint. So he can't look back really well, but he can get side to side. You can get him in some dynamic poses. Just tilting a little bit. He can look down more off to the side. So it does go full 360. Crazy Joker. The arms are on a hinge, nice pin and socket, ball jointed shoulders. They do go, it's like with all these Justice League figures, are all really stiff. You can see, where's it at? You can see the hinge in there, so it does move a little bit. He does feel like one of those, if I put too much pressure on him, I might break him. His other shoulder, man, it's just not want to move. Just in and out, there it goes. Just a little bit. So you're not going to get a whole, you know, arm being able to go completely out, but I'm okay with that. I'll get him in a pose on my shelf, and he will be fantastic. And he can move a little bit to be able to be a little dynamic. He does turn up at the bicep up here. So it doesn't have a wrist rotation, but he does have rotation up at the bicep. Bends at the elbow. Little fuzz there. Again, no rotation in the hands at all. And it's not stiff. I can feel it kind of moving in there. His legs do go, it's really stiff. Forward and back. It goes back really far. And up decently too. Like he could get into an actual seated position. So since we're talking about seat, bend at the knee. It's not a huge bend at the knee at all. So, but if you wanted to, you could have him, you know, look like he's sitting. Drop the camera down. Story time with good old Joker. So, and then no rotation or anything in the foot. And normally for DC collectibles, that would be it. But look what we have here. We have a turn at the waist, which is really cool. DC Collectibles is really bringing up their articulation game. Since Mattel is dropping the ball all kinds of different places, DC Collectibles is getting more and more. And the Greg Capullo wave that's coming out with Batman, Nightwing, and Talon, they will have ab crunches. So I think that's pretty cool. Now this is what I was talking about with the back, with this pouch here. If I get this glued back on, or when I get this glued back on, could be a potential for it to come off, because, which I think that's might have what happened. This screwdriver thing, let's call it, rubs right there. So if I turn in that way, I think I could pop that right back off. So it's cool that they went to the trouble to put all these things here, and we have the articulation for the waist, but it's going to kind of get in the way of the pouches that could potentially break them back off. So I'm glad it's there. It's a step in the right direction. That's my only real negative with this, that it's causing a QC problem. So this may be something I may call DC Collectibles about, or Entertainment Earth, and say, hey, I've got a piece that broke off. I just got it, yada, yada, yada. So we'll see. Maybe they'll, send me a voucher of some type, replace the figure, or whoever. If they don't do anything, at least maybe they need to be made aware of that to make these pieces a little softer. Because if this was softer like this saw here, that might not have been a big issue, or if they would have moved this to the back somewhere. So neither here nor there. But let's get this back up so you can actually see the whole figure. I just think this is a great, great looking figure. Let's zoom in on our character here, Rob. So, I don't know if you're like me or not, but I like to see him in comparison, but we'll kind of save some comparisons. Let's bring up the other villain that we have here. And we have Captain Cold. Let's give Joker a weapon. That's what I should have talked about. Now, his hands are really big. I was playing with this before. So he does hold the weapons, but they, weapons, tools, but they do kind of fall down a little bit. The hammer works better in his right hand. Doesn't really want to hold the saw that well. I mean, he can. Just, again, it's kind of on placement and how you put things. The pliers, I think, will fit decently. Kind of like that. So pretty cool. Maybe, Captain Cold, old buddy, I'd like to knock the crap out of your head. Okay, so I don't like your new outfit. I do like his outfit. I know some of you don't. But these two look really, really good together. It's nice to see DC Comics, doing some of the villains now too in the new 52. Again, I'll have Black Mana coming today, so I'll probably end up shooting that video also. So now that we've got Captain Cold here, maybe we can have a Joker knock Captain Cold out. Let's bring in my Batman. I said Batman and Son. The Batman Incorporated Damian, which they did not change his look from the old continuity. As you could tell for a lot of these reviews, Damian works very, very well in with the new 52 Justice League line and with the Joker here. So I knocked the Joker off so that these two look really good together. I cannot wait to get up on my shelf and start posing some of these figures together. I think it's going to look really, really cool. And Damian works really well with the Joker. If you have this guy, highly recommend him. And of course, we have Batman himself up against the Joker. These are the two I've been wanting to see. Here's a segment I like to call Darkseid saying, "Here, let me lend you a hand." So here are the heroes and villains that I have kind of standing with their evil counterpart, if you will. They're one of their main villains. And I know that Damian doesn't technically belong into this set, but he works so well with the Justice League line from the New 52, and that's, you know, how he looks. I think he works really well. But the Joker is just a fantastic figure. Yes, I had a little QC problem here, which will be an easy fix. A little bit of super glue onto the pouch, and it'll be good as new, and I won't even worry about it. One of the big things is going to be the waist swivel in here. Turning that around, I could potentially pop this pouch back off, or maybe one of the other ones. But I like what they're doing. We're getting more articulated action figures from DC Collectibles, and I think that's really, really good. My Joker's arms are really kind of frail and brittle, which, I mean, I guess kind of works with the Joker. But at the same time, Captain Cold's arms moved so much smoother and fluid, and Batman's arms moved really fluid. So I don't know if the process changed just a little bit, or if they're continuing to try and find different ways and maybe go, okay, this one doesn't work, or this one does. So, but I definitely recommend this figure. If you're any kind of a fan of Batman, and which means you're probably a fan of the Joker, or if you really like the Joker, this is a really, really excellent figure. I cannot say enough good things about this figure. This is a 10 out of 10 in my book. Granted, even though I had a little QC problem here, as far as the sculpting and everything else, I think it works really, really well. I would have liked the joints and the arms to move just a little bit better, but the end result of what we have here, I think, is just a beautifully done figure. So, kind of putting some of his accessories together here, and so you can kind of see them all in the pouches that are on there. See if I can get this one to stay. There we go. All right. So today we've been taking a look at DC Supervillains New 52, The Joker from the Death of a Family storyline, written by Greg Capullo and drawn by the wonderful... let's rearrange that. Written by the wonderfully talented Scott Snyder and drawn by the wonderful Greg Capullo. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off saying, we will see you guys next time.